I love it. Again, I guess all this is really just kind of like a gush kind of fest. But one thing that I love about this show, apart from your incredible impressions, is that I have a deep seated love of talk shows, and they are
Oh yeah.
often when they're talked about anymore, or if they're like shown in any kind of way, they usually have like a very ironic and cynical angle. But with staying positive in the apocalypse, I mean, it is in the apocalypse, so I mean, there is a sense of cynicism in that, but the character and the intent of the show is incredibly sincere.
Yeah, he really just wants to do a talk show.
So
Just doesn't, it's never worked out really.
things just keep getting in the way. But how how did that kind of come about? As terribly generic of a question that is.
Oh, the idea. I was really isolated,
Uh huh.
and I was trying to think of why. Like, I was thinking, what do I need to survive? Like, I'm not doing well mentally,
Uh huh.
and I was like, I got to start at least trying to force some kind of positivity.
Oh.
And then, but then I also thought I was trying that, and then I thought, oh, I got this is silly. I think I'll exaggerate it even more and make fun of it in this cartoon. So then he was like at the next level of absurd positivity because he's not even there's nobody else even alive, so he's pretending that there's other human beings alive and there aren't.
Uh huh.
And I think that's like the limit of
And he's trying to help them, which is also cool. It's like, hey, here's a
yeah,
thing that you can do.
they don't even exist and he's trying to help them.
Yeah, that's really. It's. I mean, the first one you made of that. I mean, that's one of your like kind of older like IPs, so to speak, right? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like you're kind of ahead of the curve in terms of, again, just what I was talking about earlier about how, I mean, cynicism can be funny, most definitely. I mean, all of stand up is basically bitching about stuff. So, I
Yeah,
mean, there's comedy in that. But I feel like there's a trend with some good shows right now where being sincere is punk rock.
yeah, I believe that. I see that too.
Yeah, and
And
you kind of you got ahead of it.
I,
That's
I probably
cool.
was more that way growing up, so wasn't seeing it around anymore, and I didn't know why. Like, like a lot of characters in movies were just doing that same sarcasm and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was finding that so annoying. People write female characters terribly sometimes. Like usually just that. Um, it's like I just said that. I don't know. It's like their arms are crossed and they're really mad and they're like treating the guy character really badly.
Sure. That that
And they're
that that, that saving Silverman girlfriend
they're
kind of thing.
supposed to be like all knowing or something at the same time. Like the guy's trying to impress her, and it's just I've never met anybody like that in real life. That doesn't feel realistic. The
Mm-hmm.
people I've met have they're just snotty all the time. I hope not to meet those people.
Right. They become bill collectors.
Maybe there are people like that. Like I mean, people are probably imitating that character now. Those Pixar girl characters.
Right. Whether they know it or not, they just kind of had that kind of impressed upon them.
Yeah, it'd be miserable to be around that person all the time. You would just get away from them, hopefully.
Right. Their face would melt and they would reveal to be a negative bot.
Yeah, yeah,
I love that concept too of just how blunt of an enemy uh, they are in those animations. Because I mean, because you get the isolation of the main character, his sincere being and wanting to help people, and but the only other seemingly sentient beings out there are these just fucking downers.
yeah.
That's how they exist. I mean, you got great commentary on on society. Uh, or just like what it's like to be in an art scene sometimes.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was really involved in the art world for a while. And they're such
You can
yes, it's so snobby as you'd imagine.
you can say whatever terrible words you want to say. We can bleep it out if you want. We can.
Well, I got a now just selling stuff online has helped so much. I used to have an agent. She died. She was a good person. She
Oh,
died recently.
well, I'm sorry.
But, yeah, it was a shock just before COVID, and but I've been selling way better on my own,
Well, that's
like
good.
through just
Instagram.
showing the work and putting a price. I
Yeah,
was like, you don't need a person, a middleman.
right. I mean, a lot of artists kind of lose that to just shyness.
Yeah,
It's like no, I would rather have the kind of middleman to to help me along because I just can't deal with it.
and I did used to show stuff in galleries before galleries stopped showing stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I wouldn't mind doing that again. Like that was kind of fun.
The,
But I didn't really like a lot of that art crowd, the collectors and stuff. Met some nice collectors, I guess I should say. But and maybe I'm talking more about the critics,
oh, I got you.
the other curators who would show up, and the conversations they'd have. I don't know. But yeah, I was very deeply involved in that years ago. This is this process that I'm doing now is way more satisfying.
Yeah. So, in terms of your artistic development, was it? Were you doing like fine art? I mean, I'm
Yeah.
maybe you don't like to call it fine art, but I'm calling it fine
Oh
art.
yeah,
Okay.
call that.
So you're doing that prior to your animation work,
Yeah.
and then all the while you were also doing music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I was like in a band. We're playing pretty often, and that was in Montreal.
Oh,
I was
cool.
like started a band with a couple people, T and Raf,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't. I just wanted to like kind of dabbled in it, and I wanted to like go full on, see what it was like.
Yeah.
But I didn't really like that lifestyle, like just like show at night, playing the same songs that you know already. I don't know. Didn't feel like a lot of growth was involved.
I gotcha. I wanted to ask you what your workflow is like.
Okay. This year it's starting off slow, but there are days like where I'll just wake up and immediately start animating,
Yeah.
8, 9 in the morning. It's rare, but I'll go sometimes 14 hours straight. But that's pretty rare. I think it's more like 7 hours, I think,
Sure.
daily, and then I don't have to like take a day off even.
Yeah. The thing I found about just in my dabbling of animation, it's great because you can. Well, it's like a double edged kind of sword. It's great, but it's also terrible that you can literally put in as much time as
Oh yeah.
as you want or can, and that can be consuming, but also like for me when I come from like a stand up background, it's like I can only do that at night at these specific times at these specific places. Where at least with animation or just anything that can be done outside of needing an audience, it's like it's cool to be able to have that kind of freedom to work.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So
been really good, really good. I'm trying not to tell people how positive, like how I've been sort of thriving the last couple of years, and I try to downplay it.
why are you trying to downplay it?
There's a lot of miserable people out there,
Oh,
and they get mad if you're like,
yeah,
"Yeah, I'm doing great."
yeah. The FOMO they call it, I think.
Yeah,
We could talk about this for a hot second if you don't mind. When you started doing some like live action stuff,
yeah.
was that decision out of boredom or practicality or all of it.
So that would be the when I did live action Plague Roach and maybe the
Yeah,
Alien video.
yeah. Which, by the way, your brother
I
does
think that
does
was
an
just
amazing Werner Herzog.
yeah, my brother. He's really good. Um, yeah, that was a frustration about just like vaccine, like feeling like that cabin fever. And then me and Dylan were like, well, it's just you and me. We're not breaking any rules. Let's just go out and film stuff and do the opposite of what people will expect. Like you'd expect someone to just isolate more and work on more animation, but we thought, no, let's actually film live outdoor things. People need kind of a
Yeah.
inspiring energy from a human being, I think. And we also did this video on Minute Hours channel where we're like dressed as we have boxing gloves on and we're like dancing. And
Oh,
that
groovy.
was like that feeling like we are trying to like show that you can still, I don't know,
I got you.
not dead, like we can still go out and express ourselves. We did follow the rules, like we're even wearing masks in the boxing video. There was just one time in a graveyard we were filming
Oh, go on.
supernatural video. Yeah, I don't know. We were clustered together, a bunch of us, and filming this girl at a grave. There's one called "Say Goodbye" on my channel. Uh, and yeah, there were these people watching us in a van, and I think it said it was something to do with like community watch or like it was some kind of security connected to COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had to like film as quickly as we could.
Oh,
So there
okay.
was somebody that was gonna approach us. That was the only problem
Be,
where we felt
the
like,
guy just
oh wait,
slowly
no, some
approaching with
police
a
came
shaking
after me.
fist. Oh, police.
That's right. We were at this place called the Ruins. We were filming this Savior video with Plague Roach,
There's a
and
place
the
in
police.
there's a place called the Ruins.
Yeah, it's like a monk. Is it Buddhist? It's
Oh,
like a monk shrine, not shrine. It's just like a stone building that's kind of crumbled, but it's called the Ruins, and it looks ancient. So we were filming the Savior video. It's part of it there, and yeah, the police came by, and we just like left before they came up and talked to us. Like they were kind of just kind of staring at us, like
yeah.
because we weren't really following the rules then, or anything.
It was like
Because
slowly
Canada was
approaching.
terrible for rules.
I really wanted to compliment your writing because there was one particular line that I wrote down where it's in Bother of Pearl, the scientist gal who was breeding the that ulcer thing said that things went a bit awry, and then the other guy goes, "A bit awry? This is a loaf of rye."
Grooves.
Yeah, gross.
She was downplaying
Yeah,
her crime, her crime against nature.
a crime against humanity, against nature. But that kind of dry writing, like that, it's my jam. Like I love it so much.
So good.
Uh,
I watched a lot of Marx Brothers as a kid.
okay,
That's
see that
that's the style.
yeah, I was wondering if it was Marx Brothers or maybe Monty Python or just like the kind of European mentality when it comes to comedy kind of thing.
The, Probably more Marx Brothers or S.J. Perlman, who
Okay,
wrote Marx Brothers a little bit.
gotcha.
Because I don't know, that stuff just is really embedded in me. And it gets really corny, that humor, but it's really good.
Yeah, man. I mean, I love that. I love that kind of shit. One other quick thing was I wanted to compliment the clap track from episode one of Staying Positive in the Apocalypse. Like, instead of the laugh track, you have that crank
Oh yeah.
clapping things. Like, you look at that, and it's like, wow, what fucking vision.
It would work. I think it would work if it had the right springs.
Yeah, the
He
com-
used to be more of an inventor. I should bring that back. He used to actually build more stuff.
that could be a whole thing.
He's resourceful, I guess we know that.
Quickly touch on your oddball walking animations.
People seem to poke fun at those a lot.
Well,
Uh, I,
I hope in a complimentary kind of way because I mean I appreciate it from the decision of it's like okay the character's going to walk. I mean yeah we can do that, but why shouldn't we punch it up a bit?
yeah, they're definitely like getting uh like at first I didn't notice how silly they looked,
And
and
then
then I
you
saw,
leaned into it.
yeah, for sure.
That's
Like
great.
sometimes it's me filming myself and then I'll walk on the spot, so I'm not actually moving. So that's probably what gives it that weird
Oh sure yeah
sweeping moonwalk feeling.
yeah they kind of get that like almost parallax kind of thing going on.
Yeah, I enjoy it more now because I saw people were kind of mocking it.
You're like yeah fuck yeah that's my thing motherfucker.
I'll do a really bad one next time. I'll do a really ridiculous one.
Sweet. I really shouldn't keep you any longer, but I hope we can have a chance to talk again because this has been incredibly enjoyable for me.
Yeah, it was amazing. Thanks for
I'm so glad that
inviting me.
I'm so glad that you accepted my cold call of a interview ask. 'Cause it's like I got nothing, and he's willing to talk to me, so that's incredibly generous of you.
I got a good feeling right away, so it's like I had no doubt.
Oh,
Just,
good.
I think I'm good at picking up on intention or something. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to agree with that. And that was Drue Langlois. Thanks again to him for doing this and being such a cool dude. And thanks to you for checking this out. Hope you dug it half as much as I did. Also, be sure to check out those links below if you haven't already. Subscribe to the man's YouTube channel and to this one if you're feeling generous. Also, check out his Patreon. Support the arts. Go to Instagram. Buy a painting of his. Look in the mirror. You're beautiful. You're gorgeous. You deserve fine art in your life. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to the supplier of the sick beats that you've heard at the beginning and end of our program here, brought to us by the one and only King Supreme. No relation, I wish, but his information will also be in the description below, so you can check out his music. Another hell of a talent. And that will pretty much wrap up this show. I'm going to sign off with a line that I picked up a few years ago in my home away from home, that is Roz Talks in Rock Island, Illinois. Item 15 from the Roz Talks Manifesto, which is law. If you want better media, go make it. Good night, everybody.